This was never supposed to be a YouTube video because it was supposed to be a simple travel day. But as we have seen in my travel days, there is never a simple travel day. I always run into a problem, and this story I'm about to tell you had many problems, including almost dying in the Caribbean Sea and sleeping on a boat filled with trash, guys. Full on trash. But before I get to that crazy night, I have to tell you how I got to the point where I was okay with sleeping in a trash boat. Now, if you've seen my previous video, you know I can't snorkel at all, to the point to where I gave 3 girls the ick because I was throwing up over the whole boat. But since I already got my snorkel virginity out the way, I thought, what the heck? I already survived. I can do this again. Now, this was my first mistake. I could swim in the raging ocean like I was a mermaid, while a hurricane was heading to the island. Now, I'll tell you more about that later. So, I got the snorkel gear from my hostel and I headed for the most picturesque, perfect beach that's in the Caribbean Sea. I go with someone else from my hostel, a German guy who scuba dove all over the world and was swimming since he was 5. I used him as my crutch. I traveled with him on the ferry to the island. Y'all seen him. It's cool. At this point, the waves were pretty durable. They weren't too raging, they weren't too crazy. I got my mask, snorkel, and fins, and began to swim out maybe 150 to 200 meters to a reef off the shore. Now, guys, this was my second mistake. I have never in my life swam more than 20 meters. I had to come back inside because it started to rain on me. Maybe that's my problem, is maybe I just shouldn't be outside, okay? Cool. Now back to my second mistake. My second mistake I made was I have never in my life swam more than 20 meters. So I don't know what spirit possessed me, what came over me to even think I could swim 10 times that, guys. Sometimes I just really don't use my brain. So I'm swimming out there, and everything is going good. My fins are working, my snorkel is snorkeling, and my mask is masking. After swimming around the reef for about maybe 30 to 45 minutes, we decided to head back. Because at this point, I already swam about 400 meters, and I'm getting exhausted. Now, this was my third mistake, was not hydrating. On the way back, my left leg begins to cramp up to the point to where I'm in pain. I'm screaming in the ocean like, my leg is stuck. And I signaled to the German guy, hey, bud, we're going to have to tread water for a bit while I let my leg heal because I can't go on no more. So I take out my snorkel to breathe freely, right? Let me get some air in me. Maybe that might help my leg. And a huge wave just crashes into my face. I swallow a big gulp of salt water. Now, me and salt water are not friends. So I begin to throw up. I'm throwing up. All around me is a yellowish green liquid of just yuckiness. Yeah, guys, I don't know. It was a crazy time. So my brain starts to panic. I'm like, my leg is cramping. I just threw up everywhere. And somehow a thought gets in my brain that sharks are on their way. And I'm thinking, we gotta go or sharks are gonna eat us. And I don't know why I thought that. I think my reasoning was that sharks can smell a single drop of blood, and for some odd reason, I thought blood was in my throw up. I still to this day don't know if blood is in throw up. I'm sure it is. I'm sure there couldn't be. Whatever. I was just freaking out. So I tell the guy, all right, bud, we gotta go now. So we begin to start swimming again, right? We're going. And then I try to breathe out my snorkel, and then it's clogged. My snorkel is clogged. I don't know what to do. I'm like, my snorkel is clogged. My leg is cramping. I'm on an empty stomach. How could this get any worse? I think to myself. In the moment I think that, my mask has a crack in it now. And so it's letting in water in my eye. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, I have a cracked mask, snorkel's not working, legs cramping, empty stomach. I'm gonna get swept under the sea and die. I'm like, this is where I die, in the Caribbean Sea. Now, my life didn't flash before my eyes, like my full life. But I would say some moments were like flashed. All right, guys, once again, I am continuing to learn that no, I am not an island boy, because
I just tried to snorkel in this water during sunset. Probably the best time to snorkel. And when I say it was a near-death experience, it was not the nearest, but it was pretty near. I had my snorkel on, my mouth, right, my mask, and then I practiced in the shallow part, right, real nice. And then from there, everything just went wrong. I got water in my mask, the tube was full of water, and I was like out there. Like I was like maybe 100, 150 meters from the shore. So like a football field length and a half for my American friends. And it was down bad, guys, down bad. I think this might be really the last time that I want to be at the beach. I am traveling a lot longer than today, and this might be my last time.
And at that point, I decided that would be my last night on the island. What was paradise to me was now my hell. But that's okay. I go out to my favorite restaurants. I had my first alcoholic drink that I had in about 2 weeks, and I just lay on the beach. The next morning, I decided that I need to wake up and go gather information on how to leave this island. Turns out the ferry that I came on the islands with wasn't leaving today, but in 3 days from now. So now I'm bummed. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, what else am I going to do on this 3 days left that I have on the island that I hate? But rest assured, there's always an island leaving the island. No, I said that wrong. There's always a boat leaving the island. Now, it could be a ferry boat, it could be a speedboat, it could be a fishing boat. Either or, there's always a boat. So some people told me that there's a cargo boat leaving. Should get there at 9 a.m., leave around 12 p.m. So I check out of my hostel, I wait at a restaurant, I go eat some breakfast, and out of nowhere, it rains cats and dogs. I'm talking about super rain. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this sucks.
Guys, I'm trying to leave today. Please stop raining. It's so bad. And I'm gonna be leaving on a cargo boat, guys. A cargo boat.
I look like I'm a sad, bad kid on Christmas that didn't get no kind of presents. So 10 o'clock comes around, no boat. 11 o'clock comes around, no boat. 12 o'clock comes around, no boat. So I'm trying to think, maybe the local guy told me the wrong time. So I go back up to him just to make sure, it's kind of in Spanish, kind of in Creole. We're not speaking the same language. So I wanted to make sure. So he's like, hey, bud, it's island time. The boat will get here when it gets here. And that's when I learned to never be in a rush. To never be in a rush, because it's out of my control. What am I going to do? Tell the captain to hurry up when he's miles offshore? No. Right? So around 12:30 rolls around. I see the boat on the horizon. I'm like, oh, yes, I can go. But we have to wait for it's unloaded and loaded. So in that time, I try to search for some motion sickness pills, because I don't want to be throwing up for what seems like the 10th time in 2 weeks. So I found some pills. They wanted $20 US, guys, for 4 pills. I looked at them boys crazy, because I was like, ain't no way I'm about to pay you $20 for 4 pills. There's no way. So I found some $2 motion sickness patches that I didn't think that would work. But who cares, right? It's $2. I already lost my dignity. So if these don't work, I guess I'll just throw up. I have nothing else to lose.
About to put this patch on. I already have one right here on my temple. I'm gonna try to put one right now behind the ear. Hopefully it helps. Hopefully it's not like a placebo thing. It's only cost me $2 US. So let's see. Well, maybe not the best location, right? But I feel like that's fine.
I load on the boat, and that is the beginning of what I call this story, sleeping on a trash boat. Like I said in the other video from the Corn Islands, there are 2 separate islands, Big Corn and Little Corn. I was on the Little Corn, so I had to make our way to the Big Corn. The sea is raging at this point, the boat is rocking, and the rain is raining. But we prevailed and make it to this island, Big Corn. I am under the assumption, guys, that we're going to unload what's on the boat, load up some more stuff, and make our way back to mainland Nicaragua. Well, You know what they say about assuming. The captain told me that he didn't feel like just going to the mainland today. He was like, hey, it's getting dark. I'm already behind schedule. We'll just try again tomorrow. So I look at this captain like, boy, do you know you just threw a wrench in my plans? Like, I was planning to make it to the mainland today, hop on a bus, and get my butt out of Nicaragua today. Turns out, you're out of control, guys. You're out of control. So I have to figure out where to sleep tonight, where to get food, thinking of all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, I got to be back here at the bus at 8 a.m., but I need food, I need this, I need that, whatever. The guy that I was traveling with, the German guy, bless his soul, he's a very brave man. He asked the captain, hey, can I just sleep on the boat? I have like a hammock. And the captain was like, yeah, I don't care. So, of course, I followed suit because that's just less problems that I have to think about. And so we go eat, we make our way back, and I see the boat getting filled with trash, like fish guts, barrels of unknown substances, rusted metal, you name it. It is on this boat.
How I get myself in these situations, but I'm about to sleep in a hammock, guys, on a boat filled with trash. I don't know what's going on, guys. Today has been a rough one.
In the middle of the Caribbean Sea, and I'm about to sleep on it. Never in my life would I have ever thought about I would be sleeping in a hammock and be sleeping on a hammock in a boat and be sleeping in a hammock on the boat filled with trash, guys. It was a first time for everything, and that was a lot of first times. But that's okay. I put my headphones in, eye mask on, and I am relaxing, guys. Straight relaxing. The moment I begin to doze off, the boat just begins to rock violently. And I mean, my hammock is swinging left and right. I peek out my eye mask, and it's raining cats and dogs again. Now, like I told you, there was a hurricane, right? It was Hurricane Beryl, I think, that was tearing up the Caribbean, and that was part of the reason why I wanted to leave, because I was like, I don't want to be in this island when the hurricane hits. I don't know how I'm just gonna do it, right? So the captain gets up. He's running around with his head chopped off like a chicken, and he's trying to put the tarps down. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a thing to look back. So I go up to help him. He's getting drenched in water. I get drenched in water. We get all the tarps down, and I have to lay back in my wet hammock. Oh my gosh, guys. At this point, I was so fed up. I was like, I'm supposed to sleep in this wet hammock? Like, what am I supposed to do, right? And then I thought how privileged I was to experience such an experience and such a crazy journey. Someone else was dreaming about the life that I have, right? Life to just travel to all these places, have fun, do all this stuff, sleeping in a hammock on a trash boat in the middle of the Caribbean Sea. And at that point, I was like, all is well in the world again. In the morning, some more trash got loaded onto the boat, and some more people as well. And when I heard the boat's engine start to crank up, I knew we were on our way. And that I could finally get to mainland Nicaragua and not see the ocean ever again. But some guy bought a chirping bird on the boat, and I couldn't really hear much. We finally make it back to mainland Nicaragua, guys, and that was the start of the longest worst journey again. So if you've seen my YouTube video about the longest worst journey, I had to do that basically in opposite plus the trash boat. It was so bad. But luckily, I hopped on that 6-hour bus ride back to Managua. From Managua, I hopped on a bus all the way to the border, got off the border, and I made my way into Costa Rica, guys.
All right. I just woke up from a 3-hour nap, and I got bombarded at the border here of Nicaragua and Costa Rica. Kind of still waking up. I think I just got robbed. I think I just paid someone in like 1,000 Corubas. They gave me $4, which is, I think, is a ripoff. But then they gave me, I think, 1,000 colones, which is Costa Rican money. Don't know, still trying to figure some stuff out.
Now, it was a very long time, a very interesting day, and it's really a good story, guys. Now that I think back on it, it is a great story that I have, and it overall was a fun time. So I made my way into Costa Rica, slept all day in Liberia, and I'll see you guys in Costa Rica, guys. It was a nonsense story. Trying to film this part was also nonsense, right? It's raining. My cameras, I think I have water in them from when I climbed the waterfall in Omitepe Island. I just looked at my camera. There's a little bit of water inside the lens. Now, I did break this camera prior on this trip. And if this camera breaks now, because there's water in the lens, I'm going to be really sad.
How much is the camera?
It's $800. Yeah, but I have warranty, but I can only do it in America, so I have to fly back to America, do the warranty, and then have to come back. And do I want to waste a trip, like waste a week to fly back to America, wait for a new part to get here, just so I can film my travels? Hell no. But that's another thing for another day. I'll see you all on the road. Happy travels.
So I made it off the big boat, and now we're on a tiny boat. Today's a boat day, people, a boat day.